Well, welcome to the Pyramid Science Foundation Saturday live stream series. I'm Allie Wasko. I am the coordinator for survey data, research information. I do some promotional work for the Pyramid Science Foundation, but I'm also a certified Reiki master. So it is my pleasure to be able to share this side of my life with you all today. I found Reiki, or I suppose Reiki found me, thinking back as early as high school. My mother's friend was a registered nurse, and she introduced me to the idea of healing hands therapy. And at first, being so young and skeptical, I was not immediately sold on the modality or the idea that energy can come in and change things fundamentally in the material world. But as I progressed through life, I experienced a few, health issues, and I am the recipient of many, many healings. And most recently, my son, probably 6 years ago, had a cyst growing on his eye. It was a chalazion cyst. And my friend Kelly, who lives in Hawaii, called and said, don't do the recommended surgery. It was something that wasn't going to be self-corrected. It was something that would have to be surgically drained and removed. And she said, just give my friend a call. And she's in Texas. And I'm like, how's somebody in Texas help my child's eye? And I called her. And in 2 days, the cyst was nothing more than a mere red, irritated area. And looking back, it's inexplicable. How could that be? And I often wonder, how do you explain Reiki to people who are skeptical? And I think explaining it limits it. It puts it in a box. It tries to contain it within human language, which is so infallible. We can't put words to the power of that creates worlds in the universe, the power that animates life, and we can't control it or direct it either. I think the greatest way to interact with Reiki is to submit to the process, to be an observer, and to simply surrender to the power. So I could show slides about the history of Reiki, or what we think is going on with the relationship between the practitioner and the recipient. Just like an electrician could spend hours telling you how the light switch in your room powers the light across the room. We could put that process into words, which is difficult to do, if not impossible, or we could just flip on the light switch. So I will share the 5 principles of Reiki. All of my students receive a card, and I like them to put it in a prominent spot or hold on to it, put it in their pocketbook if it's big enough, or frame it and put it on their desk. And I know with the glare that it's hard to read, but the Reiki principles are 5 principles that are good to revisit every morning. And it doesn't take a tremendous amount of time. It's just a little reminder, a little chance to be intentional. Who am I and who do I want to be in this day? Who do I want to represent in a field? We are energy, in a field of energy, with infinite points of potentiality. And we are co-creators in that field. And so by visiting these 5 very simple principles, we can center ourselves and be intentional on about what type of person we're going to be, our self-actualized version, or our version who is, maybe more judgmental or fearful, or who is dropping down and letting the energies outside of them perhaps influence who they bring to the day. So I'll share those contemporary Reiki principles with you. They're rewritten from the 5 original Reiki principles that were shared and taught by the founder, Dr. Asui of Reiki. He was a Japanese energy practitioner. The contemporary Reiki principles takes 5 principles and reword them in a way that brings it into the present tense and makes it easier to grasp onto and easier to reflect into your life. So the first Reiki principle is, I release angry thoughts and feelings. And we're human. We're going to encounter lots of opportunities to come into judgment and to react angrily, or to feel, a sense of frustration or any emotions on that anger continue. The original Reiki principle said, just for today, I will not anger. And the Reiki principle says, today I release angry thoughts and feelings. Just for today, I release thoughts of worry. So we all know what it's like to experience anxiety and fear, but we don't necessarily have to stay in those thoughts of panic, worry, fear, and we can actively work to release them. And just for today, I'm grateful for my many blessings. Gratitude plays a tremendous role in Reiki, on the Reiki path. And just that vibration alone, the vibration of appreciation, is said to be among the highest of the human frequencies. And it's so easy to reach for gratitude, whether it's a gratitude journal or just taking time during the day to reflect on our many blessings and our many gifts, even in times like these, where it seems like so much is being lost, whether it's a job or certain freedoms. We can always redirect and take a moment to count those blessings. The fourth contemporary Reiki principle is I practice expanding my consciousness. I imagine this could mean different things for different people. But for me, it's taking a moment to quiet my mind and take my focus off that particular point of attention that is, vampiring or demanding all of my focus, whether it's something that needs to get done for work or something that's going on with the children. And just to remember that I'm so much bigger than the 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 concern or the issue or the task at hand, and to melt in or connect with that higher part of myself, that part that is connected and intersecting with all that is. That you're not just a person that sometimes has a spiritual experience, but you are a spiritual being, that wider, fuller, multidimensional aspect of you. You are a spiritual being having a very human experience. And it is beneficial to just take a moment and remind yourself of that. And the final one is that I'm gentle with all beings, including myself. And the initial Reiki principle said something like, I'm kind to all living beings. But we often exclude ourselves from our own acceptance and kindness. We're often our own worst critic. And there's that judgmental voice in our head running 24/7. So just a reminder in the morning and a reminder in the evening to be kind to yourself. And when we do that, it ripples out. You don't have to remind yourself to be kind to others when inside your own physical vessel and inside your own head is a lovely place to be. It just radiates out from you and shines. Reiki is very easy to learn. You can get certified in Reiki 1 in a one-day workshop. And there was nothing magical or mystical about Reiki, but I find that the best practitioners are the ones who can get out of their own way. So, excuse me, that surrender process, that stepping aside and putting ego to rest. Nikita Dudandi says it very beautifully. The ability to do Reiki comes from an internal freedom. And it's the power to be free from stress, from tension, and from anger. So to just surrender to the peace, the tranquility, the infinite intelligence, and eternal compassion that is Reiki. And that's what comes very quickly for some people, and for some people it takes many years on the path to just step aside and let the Reiki flow. So with all of that said, with that short introduction, what I do in a distance Reiki session is provide a meditation. And you'll get comfortable, you'll hear my voice, and I will be narrating what I see or observe, or where Reiki uh, wants to go and how it wants to move in you. Reiki is life force. It's another word for life force or prana. And many authors, many experienced Reiki healers will say that they're not the healer. We're not the healers. You are. We're simply a conduit for the energy. We simply have been trained to interact with the energy. We've been taught how to surrender and give gratitude in full grace and in full awe, so that our recipients can experience the grandeur of the experience. So if you would, you can use this time to find your most comfortable spot. And the pyramid is where I will be sending Reiki from today. So if you're in your pyramid, wonderful. If you're not, it'll still be a great experience for you. The pyramid, I find, amplifies all sorts of positive energies. So with Reiki, it's no different. And Reiki, it is stressed by every instructor I've had, and I have many different modalities of Reiki, coursework and certification, that Reiki can never hurt. It can only help. And before I begin the flow, during my initial intention setting practice, I always intend that the highest and purest frequencies are shared and received, and that it's received in an amount that is perfect for each individual. I let Reiki determine what that is for you. I let Reiki determine where it needs to flow and where it needs to spend time. And then I think another big part of it is performing the act, performing the Reiki session in light and in line with the client's highest good. So keeping all of those in mind, we'll get started. And this beautiful forest path is just something that I put up in case you'd like to receive Reiki with your eyes open. It can just provide a nice, natural, panoramic scene for your eyes to gaze. But you can receive Reiki with your eyes closed too. You can receive it lying down or sitting up. If you'd like to go off camera, please feel free to do that too. As this will be a relatively lengthy session in terms of our mini healing session, I'd like to go the full, it looks like it's 12:32. I'd like to take it to the 1 o'clock hour. And if we go a little over and you need to hop off, please do so. If you need to get up and do something, you can do that too. You're not tied to your chair. And if you have any questions following, for sure, I will stay and answer those too. But, in full gratitude for having this opportunity to connect with you each today. And just taking a moment to center ourselves. whatever that means for you. Whether it's drawing in slow, soft breaths, or it's relaxing those areas we tend to hold tension, the brow, the eye, the jaw, hands, neck. Just grounding into your body and letting your thoughts come and go. Entering into the present moment with ease. In every wisdom tradition, there is an idea of grace and forgiveness. I think the most powerful Reiki sessions are those that are initiated with an acceptance of forgiveness from a higher power, whether you call that God, infinite intelligence, infinite spirit, creator, universe, whatever words work for you. If none of those resonate, you can use your higher self, your super conscience, seeking forgiveness and receiving your innocence, using the law of forgiveness by any method you're comfortable with. We now request that divine love dissolve every wrong condition within us and around us, the highest love, the purest frequencies, bringing us back to our innocent state under grace, full forgiveness, being willing to receive, being willing to see yourself as innocent, like a child, in gratitude, allowing the higher frequencies of grace and forgiveness to rinse away any frequencies or any energy signatures vibrating less or lower than innocence. And as we receive our forgiveness, coming to a place where we're willing, it's not always easy, and it's an exercise for the strong, but coming to a place where we're willing to extend forgiveness to others. Extending goodwill and forgiveness to humanity. And if you feel resistance here to a particular politician or someone in your life or someone in your past. No, that's normal. And don't force anything. But could you just be willing to extend goodwill and forgiveness? That's all that's necessary to receive the forgiveness for yourself. And you might feel a shift in your vibration, a release of the weight of any need to judge, or any tendency to fear, or any guilt or any shame that you've been harboring. Just rinsing away, preparing you, cleaning the container so you can receive the pure light of Reiki now. You are forgiven. There is full grace for us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I invite Reiki, the highest and purest frequency, divine love, infinite intelligence, eternal compassion, to treat our physical vessels now. I invite Reiki to enter the crown of our heads, filling our nervous system with light, a brilliant, resplendent, beautiful light, traveling wherever it needs to go in the physical body to restore homeostasis, to bring balance back, to bring any area in the physical body which is vibrating lower than love, up to love, or beyond. Filling the brain, moving down the spinal cord, and out to all of the nerves of the body, flushing any negativity, rinsing it away with the light of Reiki. And we invite Reiki to treat the respiratory system, breathing in through our airways, resplendent light, restorative light in the sinuses, down the pharynx, into the lungs, reviving, renewing, regenerating all airways. And spending any extra time and awareness on areas that need extra balancing. We invite Reiki to treat our eyes, our physical eyes, with a bright, brilliant energy, flowing into the eye and through the optic nerve, raising the frequency and the vibration of this essential sensory system, boosting whatever needs to be boosted, bathing the area in love. And we invite Reiki into our sense of hearing, into the ear, the physical structure. Sending the light of compassion and infinite intelligence in all the little working bits of the ear. All of the tissues and bones that work automatically to help us perceive our world and the sound waves in and around our environment. We invite Reiki into our digestive system, all of the major and supporting organs in this system. Just observing where it goes. My stomach started gurgling. You might sense some rumbles in your tummy or intestine. As this intelligent light, this intelligent frequency, this intelligent energy becomes whatever you need it to be to restore, rejuvenate, replenish your physical, material body. Notice any sensations you're having. And observe if the energy gives you any knowings, any information. Any signs or symbols or colors. It's very common to do so, but it's also perfectly acceptable if it doesn't happen to. Just be curious and open to receive whatever wants to come through today. We invite Reiki into the skeletal system, penetrating deep within the bone to fortify, strengthen, energize. Premium fuel direct from the highest realms and the highest heavens, straight to wherever you need it within the skeletal system. Extra love and attention to your body's miraculous frame now. We invite Reiki to saturate the muscular system, showering and cascading each muscle fiber with the purest frequencies. To strengthen, to renew, to restore, to bring everything back into miraculous balance under grace. In perfect way. We ask Reiki to lubricate the joints, to cascade love and compassion in any area of the body where bone meets bone. Illuminating and enveloping these areas and any connective tissues, tendons, ligaments, illuminating them in a beautiful, brilliant, restorative light. We invite Reiki to spend a little extra time in any area of the body that needs additional attention, that needs a boost, that needs pain to be unraveled and moved out of the body. May the infinite compassion and eternal intelligence, the unlimited intelligence of Reiki go to wherever it's needed, to balance, to provide comfort, to rebuild. We activate that Reiki energy for as long as necessary today. Show us each participant's highest outcome. Show us each participant's highest timeline for their physical bodies. Supreme results under grace in the most beautiful ways. And we know we're so much more than a physical body. And many intuitive healers, shamans, ancient medicine men, they see a biofield around us. Many contemporary people can see the aura. And we're taught in Reiki just beyond the physical body lies the mental and emotional body. Reiki is a holistic practice, mind, body, and spirit energy. So we ask Reiki to rinse, cascade, waterfall, cleanse light over our mental and emotional body now. This is where we tend to store our traumas, our judgments, our frustrations, our phobias and fears, anything that has a narrative or a program. We ask divine love to now dissolve anything that doesn't serve us, that's ready to go in our mental, emotional body. Give us more freedom from these blocks that hold us down, these stories we either consciously or subconsciously tell ourselves about how it is or how we are, or how we're supposed to age, or how we're supposed to be in the world, how we're supposed to stay small and scared. Any of these unhelpful, limiting, harmful programs are ready to dissolve now. We ask the light of Reiki to wash over this part of our biofield, this part of our aura, purify and polish. Take a moment now to send a column of light into the earth, deep down into Mother Gaia. Any residual energy that's releasing can be sent down the column into the earth to be alchemized into love. You might see it as a fog or precipitate, leaving the body, going down the chute. Energy can't be created or destroyed. It can only be transmuted. And we're told as energy workers that the earth has a very powerful ability to alchemize lower energies into nurturing love. And just beyond that mental and emotional body is what some teachers explain to be the karmic body. As we're told, what we give, we get. What we send out, we get back. And this is the area that keeps score. If any karma that we've accumulated throughout time, space, reality, and dimension, new karma in our being, able to be freed and released and erased and discarded now. Yes, Reiki, to fill that part of our field and turn shadow into light. Eliminating any areas of guilt or shame that remain then after our forgiveness exercise, any sticky areas that we seem to define us, our mistakes, our regrets. Reiki, please wipe the slate clean that eyes could fall, if it be for the recipient's sole purpose and in their best interest. And in addition to our biofield, we also, as many teachers instruct in ancient wisdom traditions, note we have a subtle energy system. Indian gurus call the energy center chakras. And Chinese medicine doctors know energetic points as acupuncture points, and the network that connects them as meridians, and often energetic residual and sludge will back things up. It might be from a major incident in your day, stubbing your toe, getting into an altercation, having to correct a child, a deep disappointment. Over time, these can really wreak havoc on our energetic system. But Reiki to the rescue. Reiki Roto-Rooter to plunge any blockages, any stuck energies, any negative energies in the system of meridians, acupuncture points, and chakras. It's a very intricate and complex system. Twists and turns and spinning subtle energy discs turn all to the perfect charge and balance. Cleanse, purify, align, divinely powered, divinely open. And everything flowing as it should so that life force can get into all areas of the body and produce or provide the energetic nourishment that we hunger and thirst for, but that has perhaps slowed or even halted due to negative energy residual. And just observe what falls out and down through the grounding cord we send into the earth. And take note of how the flow has improved for you. Flush and plunge any energetic sludge from our energy system now. I've heard it said that Reiki is acupuncture without needles. I don't like needles. I much prefer allowing the energy to go to wherever it's needed in this system. And my full sessions are an hour and a half, and we spend a long time here just treating on the energetic level. I save the best for last. It's the core of who we are at building block, our core building blocks. We are energy. And so, in my experience, we get the energy right as within, so without. It provides a perfect mirror or a perfect projector. And the energy right, everything just seems to rise up and meet you there. We send Reiki back in time. As Reiki practitioners, we know that there's truly no time, space, that is but an illusion in this realm and on this planet. So we can send Reiki back in time to every manifestation of you at every age, giving a beautiful wave of Reiki to smooth out the turbulence and to accumulate from that moment of conception all the way to the present day, as it's sent back in time, all the way back to the beginning of you in this incarnation. It makes magically who you are in this present moment stronger. It contributes to this now manifestation of you. And we invite Reiki out into the future, to every version of you from tomorrow onward, to provide ease and elevation and enlightenment of body, soul, and spiritual level. Illuminating, brightening, energizing, blessing each of your days. We ask Reiki to provide one gentle wave over your entire multidimensional existence. Gently rinsing and removing residual energy that are vibrating at a frequency lower than love. And finally, we ask Reiki to form a bubble of grace around you now. As you integrate these energies, presents a barrier or a cushion between you and some of the harsher energies you might incorporate today, or might encounter today, excuse me. Beautiful bubble of grace surrounding you and protecting you. Creating a container for these healing energies to continue to work for as long as they need to, and to cushion the effect of any negativity you might come across as you proceed and re-enter the world after this session. Just sit and savor for a moment. And in full gratitude, I give thanks for this beautiful session. Thanks for the gentle integration of all the energies. Thanks for supreme outcomes in line with the highest good. In coherence with everyone's soul purpose. Ask that all of our vibrations are raised and maintained today. Just for today, I release angry thoughts and feelings. Just for today, I release all worry. I'm grateful for my many blessings. Expand my awareness and my consciousness. I'm kind to all living things, including myself. And when you are ready, a time that works well for you, can begin to come back to the room. You can open your eyes. And that completes our session. Let's see. I think I went over. Oh my goodness, I really went over. 111. Sometimes, oh, Charlie, you're muted. Can you unmute?
111, the angels are with us.
There you
They
go.
are, definitely.
That was
So
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Allie.
Thank
I-
you, Lisa. Thank you.
I had to go into my bedroom and get this earlier.
Oh, you have one. Oh, throw.
This sits on the top of my Chester drawers in my,
Nice.
which are the Reiki principles that you gave us earlier.
And if anyone would like me to mail you a card, you can direct message me your address, and so you can have one on your desk as a reminder.
So Allie, before we finish up, if people want to get in touch with you or would like to do sessions, I know you have a website. Tell everybody about how they can get in touch with you.
Yes. You can find me at reikistreams.com. That's, I'll type it in here, REIKISTREAMS.com. I am on Facebook, Instagram, and I just launched a TikTok account, but I don't know how long that's going to last because I don't get that platform. I need a tutor. But yeah.
Speaking of tutors,
you.
if anyone knows how to use Oxygen on WordPress, I need a tutor as well.
Oh, there's some nice feedback here. Lynn said gorgeous. Thank you, Allie. And Kate said her scalp was prickling almost the entire time. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you, Allie.
Yeah, you're
you.
welcome. Thank you.
Allie, that was an incredible session. Thank you so much.
Oh, I'm so glad, Alina. I love Reiki. I just, ooh.
Well, I guess this principle, like the outline of this meditation is applicable to any kind of energy that people are attuned to, not necessarily right. I mean,
Absolutely.
right.
Absolutely.
I have a question. Do you apply all of these multidimensional being, this kind of towards the unenlightened clients as well?
So that's always a question. I always open it, the session with well, you heard me say, you can use God or the divine or a higher power. But I think that people come in all shapes and sizes and all sorts of beliefs. I haven't run across anyone who was completely opposed to it. But with that said, with Reiki, we always get consent. So I don't go Reikiing people on the street per se. I think most people come to it with a degree of open-mindedness, if that helps.
Well, honestly, by the time you mentioned this, all of this, I would assume that most of the people were in such a deep trance and relaxation that couldn't care less, actually.
And that's a comment too, because I'll do group sessions like this, and some people will say, well, when Reiki went to, when you said it, because I kind of observe and say, oh, it's going to the pancreas, and when you were talking about Reiki and the pancreas, and then someone will say, I didn't hear that at all. You said pancreas. So I think people are in and out of consciousness when the talk is going on. And I think what you hear is divinely right for you, for sure.
Yeah, and I wish I pictured when you mentioned all this negative sludge, energetic sludge coming down to the earth. I could see it. I almost could feel it. All this thick, nasty, and I thought that I'm in a good energetic shape. Really, there's always more to come out. Thank you so much.
Yeah. There's always more. And Reiki can be practiced in person. So if you'd like to experience that, I encourage you to find someone locally. I think distance, some practitioners just send it with no narration, but I find that the narration helps with the connection and the experience. And I can talk for hours. So this is just a little short example of where this goes and takes us.
Did you say narration, or what are you talking about? Narration? I mean, what was the word?
The narration. So what we did was a Reiki meditation, and I narrated it. But if you were to go to a narration, right, I narrated it, a meditation. But if you were to go to a Reiki studio or a spa that gives Reiki healing, that there's probably not much talking, and the practitioner is keeping their hands over. Yes. So this is a way to do Reiki 2 or distance Reiki, but it also can be done silently. The practitioner doesn't have to say any of that. It's just happening. That kind of makes for a dull live stream, though. So I like to, give the narration or the commentary, I guess. The commentary,
Allie,
the play-by-play.
Right. Another question: do you use the special symbols for distant healing, or you just go through just using your mind and the intention?
I will sometimes visualize symbols. So when you're attuned to Reiki, there's probably hundreds of symbols now that you can learn. But I think once you get to a certain comfort level, that's kind of what I was talking about with the trust and the surrender. You just let Reiki do its thing.
Yeah,
so I don't I don't do a lot of symbols these days. I just release, allow, and observe.
Thank you. I happen to have a initiation to Reiki up to level 2, but level 2 was done on the internet, and the teacher that was doing this attunement happened to be not really what she said she was. So I'm not sure if it's still viable, and if it could. Anyway, it's not the teacher; it's what we are. What we are. That
It's your own
allows.
intention. Truly, I
Exactly.
believe we have access to it. That it's our God-given right. It's our animating energy, and I don't think there necessarily has to be an intermediary. Now, with that said, it has benefited me greatly to learn from other practitioners and to read. I read everything that I get my hands on. Brett Bevel, any of William Lee Rand's writings. Just there's some fantastic books that I can recommend that you can dive into, because I think the true essence of Reiki, when you're attuned as a master, it's not the destination, it's just the beginning, because the sky's the limit with it. You can use it on pets or plants or goals or dreams. You can treat, like we did today, every level of the individual: mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, energetic, across time and space. And sometimes my imagination limits me. So to read what other authors come up with and how they use the energy in their practice is just, it expands your consciousness. So I'm a constant student of Reiki. I say I'm a master of nothing, and I'm a servant to all. And I guess where I'll leave it today. Yeah. So thank you, everyone, for joining. Mwah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Okay. Let's see, what else do we, just parting information, the new website is up. So early next week, Monday, we're having a talk with the programmers. So we'll be having all of the pages we've been talking about for so long, the healer page and the affiliate program, and also the forum up and running here fairly quickly. So we look forward to having those things available here very soon.
So is this a healer program still active? Remember we talked about having these core groups and then expanding, like sitting all over the place for the like healing circles,
Yeah.
Where is it? How does it go?
Okay. Lisa, are you
Lisa,
Yeah.
there?
are you still with us? Yeah.
Yeah. So right now, until we get the forum going on the website, we're going to use Telegram. So if you have the app Telegram, download that. I recommend, a lot of people are using that right now. So I figured our chat in there, the Pyramid Power chat, will keep us all in touch until we get the forum going. The forum, once we get that going on the website, that's going to reconnect a lot of people in different avenues or areas that they're interested in, I should say. So,
okay. So it hasn't started yet.
yeah, we do have a healers group that I'm working with right now. We're just going to keep it probably at the amount that we have, but eventually we're all going to be breaking off here and starting our own groups. So that's what we're working on now. The initial group, we're working together to try to get familiar with the modalities that we're using and the power that we're projecting and things like that, and just touching base with each other and the people that we're helping, and taking notes on that. And then once we get more familiar with that, we're going to be breaking off into our own groups, and that's when we'll get a hold of everybody who's interested who wants to participate in that.
Sure. Interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, but like I said earlier, you know, now that the website's up, once we get a few more bugs worked out, we have a new distributor starting in the UK. You know, once we get him trained and things like that, things will be a lot more fluid over there. And it's going to open up more things for Charlie and I. He can focus on his book. We can focus on our research, you know, things like that. So, and the forums and the testing and stuff that we've been doing. That's what's important to both of us, really.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate everyone coming today, and we look forward to seeing you Wednesday for the Love Blast meditation, and then next week.
Yeah, and there is a new link.
The show. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry, guys. There is a new link for the Love Blast meditation. So if anybody joins, Allie will send that out in the next newsletter. It's going to be a separate link than the one that you normally sign into. So just keep that in mind.
And next week's live stream is at 7 p.m. on Saturday Eastern Time. 7 p.m. Our featured guest is in Hawaii. So the time zones, we're going later on the East Coast to accommodate her time zone.
Okay.
Hope you all can make it.
All right.
Well, thank
Thank
you so
you.
much
Bye,
again, Allie. That
everyone.
was wonderful.
Thanks.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm so glad you liked it. It was a pleasure.
Bye-bye.
And thank you, everyone, for joining us. Have a great one.